Welcome to the Soundcheck series where we bring you the latest news in hip hop and pop culture. Everything you've missed, we will summarize it for you. And not only will we give you the information, we are going to give you our opinions and our hot takes. Now, listen, before we go any further, what I need you to do is subscribe to the Soundcheck series channel so we can get these videos out into the algorithm. Now, at any point in this video, I want you to jump into the comments and tell us, did we get it right or did we get it wrong? And even give us new topics and ideas that we should cover next week. I go by the name JayRoebuck, and this is my partner Zammy. We won't hold you any longer. Let's get right into the show.
Let's see. Let's run it. I mean, the first topic we have here, Rolling Loud lineup. We've seen some promotion. They dropped the headliners. A lot of people were upset, which I was surprised about. But from my point of view, it makes sense. If you sat and watched the interview with academics and Tarek, who runs Rolling Loud, I mean, he's trying to, the headliners can't be the same headliners. He's trying to reach out to different audiences and change what not change, but evolve what Rolling Loud is. And
Mhm.
honestly, I was surprised that people were upset. I didn't know what to take from it.
Well, we could start from the Sunday, right? The main headline. I call it Sunday the main because that's like the last day. So NBA YoungBoy, that is the right pick. That is the absolute right pick. He appeals to a large audience, and we know that his audience will now buy tickets and show up, which is something that I have always worried about when it comes to NBA YoungBoy. But
Mhm.
he has proven it last year, being, I would say, the top rapper for anyone who's about 27 years or younger. He is the guy. There's no doubt about it. Playboy Cardi again as the headliner for Saturday. Again, he brings that rage, that energy feel that people want to go out and party. They're not there to listen to the lyrics for Playboy Cardi. They're there to dance because I don't know what Cardi is saying. I'm a little bit aged up from where Cardi's at. And then I think what you're talking about with the outrage, that must be for Don Tolliver, I assume. Now, Don, I think, is an amazing artist. I haven't seen any videos of him performing live, so that will be what I'm going to question is what are his live performances like and can the vocals translate because he does lean heavy on the auto tune.
Mhm.
Outside of the three main headliners, Chief Keef I think is a great pick. SD Kid from the UK, great pick. Shiesty is my favorite street rapper at the moment. He's gonna carry the streets for the next who knows how many years. And then those from like my first two lines I think are cool. So I think they got it right. I'm
You
excited to see Low Shimmy as well. Black Boy Max is a surprise. I was definitely surprised to see him there on that second line. So
is that
other than
is
that,
that
I'm cool with it.
is that Grammy nomination? Is that Grammy nomination
Mm.
got him up there? You see Sexy Red though. You see Sexy Red. She almost at
Oh yeah.
headlining status. She
Yeah, man. I don't know. I haven't heard a good sexy red record in a long time, but maybe she'll maybe she'll be on Iceman, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Oh man, she might be,
So that's
right? Like thinking about Drake
there's
projects,
a
like,
chance.
you know, she's like 3 for 3 or 2 for 2 or whatever. She's on a run with
Mhm.
Drake projects. She might be.
Yeah, yeah. They were seen in the Bahamas together, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But that is the only Rolling Loud show in the United States this year, right? So Tarek said that when he was live with Academic. So if you missed it, these are the performers, these are the headliners, and it is in Orlando, Florida this year. I know people were used to Miami, but they're in Orlando, and this is the only show in the US. So if you do care about Rolling Loud, hopefully we gave you the quick breakdown. And if you can attend, it is May 8th through the 10th. But that is the new show. Those are the new shows we have to update you with. But there's also some new music out. And the new music that came out is actually from ASAP Rocky or Rocky Harlem Zone. So you know that's where I'm from. So I gotta support. I
Mhm.
gotta support my boy. And the name of this album is "Don't Be Dumb." Now, Zammy, did you listen to it, and what do you think?
Yeah, I listened to it for just for the sake of I knew we were gonna talk about it, right? So,
Mhm.
it took a few listens. I actually was able to get through it on my run today. I got through the whole project, and I guess what I have to say about it is, I mean, it's what you expect from ASAP Rocky, right? This is what you expect. It's eclectic. It's kind of trippy in a way. It's when you listen to it, that's what you expect to get from ASAP Rocky. Is it something that I'm gonna play all the time? Not so much. Is it something where I'm gonna save the songs and come back to it? Not so much. But I guess if you're into what ASAP Rocky has given you in the past, then you'll like this.
Okay. Yeah, I tried. I tried. I listened to it on a car on a hour-long drive. I tried it 2 times. Musically, it's just not for me. I think I'm just gonna analyze from the music perspective first. Musically, it's not for me. I'm not gonna bash it, but it's just the punk rocky, a little bit of like a pop rocky. It's not my thing. But this is the thing. I don't look at ASAP Rocky as a rapper, and only because we grew up in a similar era in Harlem, really in the same era. He's a couple years older than me.
Mhm.
So I view him as a fashion guy, right? That's who Rocky was. It was Million Dollar Baby Rocky. It was Rocky with the hair pinned up. It was Rocky with the Montclair, the camel Montclair, legendary. So I don't look at him as someone who I go to for the music takes. I understand that's where he made his name, but the music to me doesn't match the fashion and the rollout. So
Mhm.
he did have, the album release party in the city a couple days ago. A lot of, my friends were there. The whole party looked lit and dope because he can curate a lot of good things. And I
Yeah.
see him as more of a curator than I do as a top tier artist.
Right.
So musically, it was okay. How it was rolled out and packaged, I think the visuals are great. I think the imagery was great. I think he went to the right places to do these interviews and get talked about. I think he was on SNL. Those are all the right moves. And then today, all the news has been about Rocky selling these vinyls or giving the vinyls out for free. And whoever wins a contest is going to get their rent paid. So a lot of group chats,
Ooh.
I'm gonna like, hey, can he do this? And I mean, yeah, he can as long as he gets them mailed on time. So right now, in terms of streaming, I think this is like his biggest ever streaming debut. And I think early projections are like 130K. I saw
Wow.
70K, but then today I saw 130. So if it does over 100, I think that's a slam dunk. That's a win for him. I think this project is independent. I think it's distributed and put out by Rocky himself, but he is managed by Rock Nation. So this is a win for him. So musically, it doesn't work for me, but optics wise and business wise, good for him. But I gotta say one thing: I don't want to hear about Rocky and Drake no more. Rocky, stand
Dang.
on your own too. You don't have to lean on a Drake talking point, but I understand why you would do it because it gets the people going. But I don't want to hear about Rocky and Drake no more. It's over with. Please, let's leave that after this album. I don't want to hear it no more.
Yeah, it's honestly not making any sense. That stuff, like even when he expounds on it, you're losing me. Like he says things like, I mean, he's stealing my flow, or he stole this, that, and the third, and nobody can connect the dots. Like, where is this flow getting stolen from? Like, ASAP Rocky sound when you hear it. Drake does.
Yeah,
It's a reach. It's a reach.
big
But
reach, big reach. I don't get it.
yeah. But I agree with your stance, right? I think ASAP Rocky is the type of artist where it's not everything around the music is what he's doing it for, and the music is just like a part of his
Mhm.
overall rollout and creative design. But it's not like the focal point. So
Yeah. So I don't know. So we'll see what happens. But again, I don't want to hear no more back and forth between the two of them. I doubt Drake will respond in full. I think Drake is likely past that. It is what it is, man. But listen, we're here. We said Drake's name. People are probably looking for some updates. So let me see what I can provide. Let's
Iceman
talk about
updates.
Drake Iceman updates, album predictions. Now, again, listen, this is what I think. I don't think that J. Cole giving a release date of February 6th affects Drake at all. I think we're gonna get an episode around February 13th. I think the following Friday. This album will be out Q1. I have no doubt about that in my mind. In the Complex interview that Drake did, he already said that the next episode will be the best episode. So we know there is an Iceman episode 4, and that will likely be a single which will roll into the album. That's what I expect. Now, again, there's no way to know these things 100%. Things can change. But the team was in the Bahamas. They were in other islands in the Caribbean. I believe the plane is out in the Caribbean right now. So we know they're likely putting the final touches on the album. So that's all I can say. I don't want to continue to give out more and more. Since November, December, I said look for Q1. And that's exactly where I'm looking, especially with people rushing out projects like Don Tolliver's trying to get a project out the way. Rocky's getting a project out the way. The industry is bracing itself for the bigger artists to drop. So we have a J. Cole date. The next date up is Drake. So
Mhm.
the industry's moving out the way, these guys trying to get their projects out so that way they don't run into that storm because those guys will dominate the charts for weeks and potentially months.
Okay. I hear you. Q1 is a bold take though. Q Q1 is bold. We I don't think he drops before Cole. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think he drops before Cole. And I think he gives Cole at least, some time to burn his album as well after it drops. Um, so I don't know if we get Q1 from Drake. I don't know. We might get a single. We might get a single from Drake Q1. But I don't know if we get an Iceman Q1. I think he might wait
Well,
he might wait till late spring so he can, run the summer.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll also say this: February is a big month. So Far Gone dropped in February. Some sexy songs for you dropped in February. There's a track record here where we can look at that month, and I think him and Cole are in a good space. But listen, they're competing to see who's who. So I don't think he's gonna delay his plans and say, "Hey, let's just have J. Cole have his moment." I don't think they're at that space. But you've been someone who's been critical of the rollout since the beginning. What do you think about this long delay here? How does that make you feel as a consumer of Drake music who hasn't been excited about the way things have been going? What do you feel about it?
Uh, I definitely think it's risky. It's risky. When you start your rollout, people expect something in the end. And what he did
Mm,
was he did something brand new, which is what we wanted from Drake, right? We want to see something new, something different. He gave us something new with the live stream and stuff. But
yep.
then it led all the way up to, this what you can call like a half season finale, like they did with Stranger
Mm,
Things and these shows, and it's frustrating even with a regular TV show when they do a half season finale. They're like, we're dropping the rest of the season in 3 months, and you're like, come on now, like so. I say all that to say when he does, if he does drop this next episode, it has to be he has no choice but to make it an extravagant moment in time because if it's not, and it gives you what the last episode gave you, where it's kind of a cliffhanger. I don't know how much longer we can wait, and how much more we can, give them in terms of attention. So yeah, this next
yeah.
episode gotta be it.
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, listen, I got people in my YouTube comments who have been saying for months the album's never coming out. Like they just under every video I make, even if it's not about Drake, they just write, "Yeah, Iceman's never coming out. The ice is melted." Listen, man, shut up, shut up. The album will come out when it's ready to come out. I don't like this long break in episodes, but I think that's a risk he took when he put these things out while he was on tour. There was a lot going on,
Yeah.
so I understand. These things take time and you have to execute. But now I think him being back in the United States makes it even more exciting because I think now you can really get some great work done. So whether it's I think episode 4 will likely be in Houston, LA, or Toronto. Those are
Hmm.
the three locations where I believe it will happen. Some other people say it's Tokyo. Some people say South Africa. I think it will be stateside or in Toronto. So we'll see. We'll
I
see. I
think
think the
Houston.
excitement hasn't left. Yeah, the excitement hasn't left. I mean, people still talk about this album and talk about how important it is and why Drake has to make a classic or why he has to deliver. So I
Hmm.
I think even though it's been 4 months, we have no episode, the anticipation has not died. So I guess the rollout is still rolling out and it's doing what it's supposed to.
Yeah, he's still keeping people interested with, little tidbits showing he's that guy. He's always outside doing stuff, giving out what, 10 bands to random people in strip clubs and setting up studios and other strip clubs and I don't know, doing his rounds. So he's staying in the spotlight. But yeah, he has to deliver. That break is no joke. You just kind of left us on a cliffhanger. What is it going to lead to? What was the end of the episode? He's reaching into his backpack. He's getting surrounded by the Pinocchios. That's how it ended. You better
Yeah.
pull out like a Thanos. You know what I'm saying? Gauntlet out the backpack or something, bro. Like what's in the bag? You better show us, bro. I'm gonna be mad if he does the next
Yeah.
episode. We still don't know what's in the bag.
Yeah. We'll see. I won't give any more. I won't give any more. I think we'll get an answer to that in the next 4 weeks for sure. But listen, we talked Drake. I'm sure we're gonna get to J. Cole, but 2026, I don't know if you were on social media the past week. Everyone keeps flashing back to 2016. Like this, everyone's like, "Oh, 2016." They're bringing back their Snapchat filters. They're living in the past. Listen, 2016 was a great year in my life too, man.
Mhm.
I had a BMW. I was living my best life. Things have changed. But what is it? Why does 2026 feel like such a big year in music? And why is it reminding people so much of 2016? Like, what is going on here? Or why do you think that 2026 will be a big year?
Um, I mean, it definitely seems like we already had ASAP Rocky drop, right? We already know
Mhm.
Cole's coming, right? We know we have a good idea that Drake is gonna drop soon, right? So you have the top artists dropping, and as everybody's been saying, hip hop is in the decline because when the top artists aren't dropping anything, then there's nothing going on. So we're gonna have a lot going on very soon. So I think that that has a big reason to do with why 2026 is a big deal. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like you just said about the artists who are dropping. 2026, we had Travis Scott, we
Hmm.
had Drake, we had Kendrick and J. Cole all release projects, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen this year. I'll talk about the Kendrick piece on and when we get to the next topic because I think there's a larger play going on there.
Hmm.
But I think all the big dogs are going to drop, and I think a lot of this happened because of the beef in 2024. So during 2024, people were scared to put out any music during that time because all the attention is on Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole for a little bit. And 2025, Kendrick is at an all-time high, SZA is at an all-time high, Doechie's at an all-time high, that whole camp. So it's like people in hip hop didn't really know how to play it. Drake started giving out features. Kendrick did his thing and then went on tour, and then we haven't really heard much from him. So now it feels like the air is clear for the top guys to drop and everyone else needs to just work around him. I feel like we're getting back into the normal swing of things. It doesn't feel like we're still in that period where people are a little bit hesitant to do what they do. And
Hmm.
then yeah, it's 10-year anniversary of 2016. And people it's 2016, I guess, for my age group was like a time where people were really living their best lives. They're out of college or they're in their final years of college. So they're getting that taste of adulthood. They got their first, real piece of money. They're enjoying life. So now, if you fast forward 10 years, they got a bag, they likely have a family. So now they're excited to get into the music and get into the social media. So maybe the
Yeah,
millennials or and Gen X is having like this revitalization. They feel, engaged in pop culture. So I guess the artists are feeling it and the consumers are feeling it as well.
that's true. I was surprised, honestly. I saw this 2016 trend for some time now, and I just thought it was gonna go away. I thought a few people posted it, and it's just picking up more steam. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is about 2016, but apparently it's a big year for a lot of people, and 10 years is also a big year. So, um, 20 if you're into numerology, then 2026 is supposed to be a year of rebuilding, and 2025 was a reset year, and 2026 is the
Uh,
year you pop out. So we shall see.
all right, we'll see. Hopefully 20. I don't know what the Chinese New Year thing is, man. It's something with money. Send it my way. Money and opportunity. I need it. I need it. I need it. I need it, man. Listen, money and opportunity has found itself on Mero the Kid's doorstep. He's
Mm,
the new Hot 97 host. So this is new. It's not just New York centric, right? Hot 97 is one of the bigger and most influential radio stations and programs ever. So even if you don't know too much about New York culture, you've heard New York radio host. So Hot 97 has a new morning show host who's Mero, formerly of Jesus and Mero. And then also, like right before we got on camera, they announced that they're also bringing on Kazim, who will be on the show with him.
see?
Now, Kazim is another. He's another New Yorker. This is about 1 degree of separation from you and I. He was a part of the Henny Palooza team. So I do know some people who have worked with him closely. He was one of the other hosts from 7 p.m. in Brooklyn with Mello. He's been on like all the MSG network. So he's been laying the groundwork in media entertainment for like over 12 to 15 years.
Mhm.
So salute to him, salute to Mara. I think that's the right pick for New York radio, are real New Yorkers. And I will say that because I think when Ebro is running things, a lot of people in New York were not happy with the way he handled the programming.
Mhm.
Um, I just didn't really like how that show went out. They went out like some whiners and complainers, to be
Yeah.
quite honest. And spent a lot of time hating over the past couple years. So I don't think they were a good representation of New York radio. They've landed back on their feet. They're doing their own thing on YouTube, but I think that this was a great replacement pick, and I think they can carry the station into new heights. Now, also, I don't know if you remember, Mero and DJ MB had a little back and forth when they were up on a Breakfast Club. So
Yeah.
now you've positioned Power 105 and a Breakfast Club against Hot 97's morning show with two individuals who are not fond of each other. So
Yep.
they're gonna battle. They are battling it out, and I'm excited to see what happens. I haven't tuned in yet, but Tuesday on my commute, I would tune into Hot 97 and see how they're carrying the show. So salute and good luck to both of those gentlemen.
That's fire. Well, first few thoughts is he still going to be working with Mello on the 7 p.m. show? And second thought is what happened? Where is Jesus? I know, like when they broke up, right? They went their separate ways. It's actually Meryl that kind of just like vanished for a little bit. Jesus was doing like guest appearances on
Yeah,
tonight shows and doing
Daily Show. Yep.
yeah, doing big things. And it seemed like Jesus was going to be the one to break away and really shine. And then it just flipped. Jesus is gone, and Meryl has been cooking for a little bit now. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's not who laughs first, it's who laughs last. And I think in terms of media and music, is there a bigger position, not in terms of salary, but a bigger position in terms of a stronghold in hip hop culture than Hot 97? How do you beat that?
hmm
How do you beat that? So, I think right now the war might be over between the two of them. Hopefully they come together to piece it up. But right now it's looking kind of quiet for Mero.
Yeah,
For
for
Deezus, sorry.
Jesus. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while.
So
Interesting.
I don't know. I also think people have been, you someone who's been critical of New York not having a sound, right? I think you're a big champion of Pop Smoke and what Pop Smoke did, and he
hmm
was the next guy up. And right now there hasn't been anyone to really take that place. So my hope is, and I don't know how you feel, maybe they can help New York find its sound and put on some younger artists from the scene. I think that would be a good look.
They got to, cause I tell you, Ice Spice not gonna cut it. She got a sound, but it just not even seems like you got younger artists like not 44 5. What? No, not 45. 4
4-1, 4-1,
4 1
4-1.
that be hating on Ice Spice because seem like Ice Spice just be stealing from up and coming artists, and then once she does it, it's like, oh, that's her thing. So there's definitely a lot of hostility amongst New York artists. There's not a lot of helping each other out in the hip hop industry out there. It seems. So yeah, somebody's gonna have to break through. We're due for another New York artist to come through with a special sound. It's gonna happen. It happens every few years, so it's bound to happen soon. So we'll be. It's not gonna be that heavy drill sound though. It's got to be something different.
I hope it's not drill. So I think so her and Kyle Rich from 4-1, they got a little thing where they go back and forth because Kyle Rich says she stole his flow.
Yep.
And he might be right. I think a lot of what she does, like this is multiple times where it's like, this is how he raps, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I think they had like a DM and then she might have blocked them. There's something happened between the two of them. But yeah, New York has been listen, New York just can't work together. It kills me. Our old heads can't work together. Jim and Cam can't get along. Dame can't get along with anybody. The younger generation can't get along. I don't want to hear no Batman voice. Listen, man, let me say this, please. What's my man name? Cash Cobain. You make positive music that's about women and money. Can you get people on the same page? I beg of you.
Yep.
Get everybody on the same page because when you're talking about those two topics, nobody should be beefing. Please,
Yep.
please.
Yeah, he might be the one because he's a producer, so he can get people in the studio. He could get people on
Yeah.
songs. They don't even gotta get in the studio. He could just, that's the best way to do it is get a song together, get some people to do it, some features that, and get people together that way. And then if the song go crazy, everybody's happy.
Yeah. I mean, look, listen. Let's just hope for a prosperous 2026 and peaceful 2026 from New York music and New York radio. I'm ready to put my tinfoil hat on. We're going to move from New York. We're going to take it out west. I said there's a bigger plan going on, and I'm gonna tell you what the plan is. We're gonna talk about PG Lang, and I think they have a little 4 year or 5 year plan they've been working on. Again, I said put your tinfoil hat on because I'm not reporting any of this information as fact. I'm reporting this information as I think I sense something going on. Now, there was a Twitter page that popped up, or there was a page on X that popped up that was spilling some inside information over the past week about what artists will be headlining Rolling Loud, who has an album coming out, who's recording music videos, and people said this guy was cap. It turns out everything that he put out has happened. He
Mhm.
tweeted that Baby Keem was in New York filming a music video.
New York.
And everybody said, no, he's not. Yeah, the Baby Keem was in New York. And then next thing you know, a photo came out of Baby Keem filming a video. So this guy was right. Now I don't know how, how accurate he is on all the info, but Baby Keem, I believe, is dropping this year. And I don't only believe that because he tweeted it and because we saw Keem doing a music video, which might have a Kendrick Lamar feature. I believe PG Lang put together a plan that rolled all the way from 2024 and that will take us into the Olympics, which is in LA.
Mhm.
I think you're gonna get a Keem project that will have Kendrick features. You're gonna get some Doechii, which is TDE, and those two work in tandem. That is gonna roll you into Kendrick Lamar's next album. That will likely happen at the end of 2026 or 2027, which will carry us into the Olympics in 2028. I believe they put together this plan because everything that happened after that battle, it went too perfect. That was not coincidental. You don't win you don't, do this battle, you get the Super Bowl, you're with Chanel, you get an album, you got cars popping out from under the stage. No, no, no. No. That wasn't some happenstance. They knew what was going on. And I think they planned this thing out to roll into the Olympics 2028. So I think we have Keem, Doechii, and Kendrick Lamar all coming out in the next 16 to 18 months. Book it. Book it.
Interesting. I mean, that's not, they're definitely well thought out. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's been that well thought out. Um, Kendrick drops soon as Drake drops. Not same
You
day,
think so?
but I think
Oh
when
wow.
Drake drops, Kendrick is dropping shortly after. He's gonna continue to try to step on him in such ways. So I think Kendrick probably already has a lot of music ready to go, and he's just waiting to see what Drake does. And I'm not saying he's gonna address Drake in what he drops, but he's gonna keep playing with him in ways, above the music, rollouts, stepping on, media, PR, shows, who has the biggest show, where is the biggest show. Yeah. So I think Kendrick is just patiently waiting for Drake to drop. And when he does, he might not. Here's what I think. I think Drake drops, Kendrick starts teasing new music soon after, whether it's
Okay.
him popping out and showing his face more, him doing a show somewhere, or him just simply teasing a new single. That's what I think is gonna happen.
I think he caught Drake off guard the first time. I don't think that happens again. So I don't know. And again, if you want to do the album for album thing, I don't think that's the right play for him because I don't think he can outsell Drake. And I think you can always fall back on the numbers, right? Because I don't think GNX didn't perform that well number wise if you compare it to Kendrick's highest selling projects or Drake's highest selling project. I think it did. What did it do? 300 first week? I don't. Let's look it up. Did 319,000 first week. I don't think that's enough. Well, it was also a surprise drop, but he had the whole world waiting.
Mhm.
I think Iceman is gonna do like if Drake does bundles, I think he's gonna get to like 800, 900,000 first week. No bundles, I think he's gonna do six, 700. I think it's gonna be a huge first week because you're gonna get the Drake fans, you're gonna get the Drake stands, and you're gonna get the curious people who want to hear what he has to say. And then
Mhm.
you're also gonna get the haters.
That's me.
I don't think Kendrick is gonna pull from that many people.
He's
So
just
we'll see. We'll
I just
see.
think that the plan is one, put my TDE hat on. We're expecting Drake to say something about Kendrick, whether head on or
Yeah,
subliminals.
for sure.
We're
For
expecting
sure.
Drake to talk about Kendrick. Um, and then two, when that happens, what are we gonna do? Are we just gonna ignore and keep moving, or do we keep playing games? We've been successful playing these games so far. So I think, yeah, as soon as he addresses Kendrick in the album, Kendrick probably has a generic comeback song already ready, or 10 of them, and they're just gonna choose from one of the generic songs, maybe punch in a couple bars, and they're gonna drop that song the same week or the week after. And so in that way, it's not numbers for numbers, but it's just like you're siphoning off some of the attention that Drake would have gotten and bringing it back to Kendrick. I think they're gonna keep. I think he's going to keep doing that throughout the rest of their career.
Yeah, I can see that, but I think it's twofold, right? I think Drake has now learned. Well, hopefully he has learned that he has nothing to gain from battling anybody. You're in a lose-lose situation. You have
Yeah.
nothing to gain. You're not. I mean, you went into this battle. The public perception is you took the L, and you had your most successful year yet. So what did you gain? Like,
Yeah.
I don't. To me, it doesn't make sense. And then I think for Kendrick, this is me. I don't know him as a person. I only know what he presents to the world. But to me, I feel like for him, I don't know if he wants his name attached to Drake for the rest of his career, even though it is. It's like Harry Potter and Voldemort. You
Hmm.
can't separate the two. And now with the two of them, it's like, does Kendrick want to have his career tied to Drake's name? I wouldn't imagine so. So I think he has to do his best to separate himself out of that because I don't think it makes much sense for him either. I think he wants to be known and is resting on his own and his own body of work. I don't think he wants to be known as the guy who battled Drake and made Not Like Us and then continue to play into it. I don't see him as that type of person, but I know Kendrick Lamar, based on what people say, is witty. He is, a Gemini. He's willing to get dirty and battle it out, which we saw. But I don't know if he wants his career. I think he values the music, and I think he values himself more than to keep playing into the games of Drake. But Drake is also King Petty, so Drake will, he's gonna have bars addressing him, or he will
Yep.
have bars that can apply to him.
Yep.
So we'll see. We'll see. But that's Kendrick and Drake, but the so-called big three. We got the J. Cole announcement. So
Hmm.
you and I, both alumni of St. John's. What do you think about how he did it? And how do you feel about the album? We were in a group chat talking a bit, and some people said, we don't want to hear J. Cole talk this and talk that. What do you think?
I've J. Cole puts me in this position where where like the I enjoy the music first and foremost. Like this new single, Might Delete Later. I enjoy the music. If I just remove everything else from it, I enjoy the music. But then J. Cole has a way of putting me as a listener in this difficult situation where I have to say, although I enjoy the music, let's get a little deeper. What is the substance of these songs in certain songs? And then you think about this single, and you're like, when I what happened to me is I enjoyed the song for a couple days, and then by the third day, I'm like, bro, I can't even listen to this because why did he? What did he just say? And then I catch a bar. I'm like, he just said I'm the best all time, or he just said, yo, if anybody wants smoke with this rap stuff, like I'm on it. Like he's talking like that, and then I can't even listen to the song no more because I'm like, bro, that's not even what you live in. Everything as a hip hop artist is you got to live what you rap. You got to rap what you live so people believe it. And if you don't, people might listen, people might not. But that's where he leads me. So say all that to say, everything aside, the production on this single was fire right out the gate. The video, fire. He kind of lost me with some of the substance because of that, but I'm from the single, I'm looking forward to the album. I think it as long as he keeps up with the same quality that we got from the single, then we'll get a good album. But please just leave the if anybody want to see me in this rap stuff bars, just leave that alone and we all good.
Yeah, let me ask you this question, right? I don't have a problem with him talking like that because I think that's how he feels. Listen, let's say that you got three people on the street. You got this is how this went. You got three people on the street. J. Cole steps up, punches somebody in the face, but I'm gonna say it's like a punch. He like threw it's a light jab, like bing, like you know what I'm saying. He ain't knock him out. He ain't stun him. He
Yeah.
just hit him. and then he takes off running. That guy, he ran from the fight or he bowed out the fight. He could still say, "Hey, like, listen, I had this moment, but I'm still a fighter. I'm still tough. I just had a slight lapse of judgment." I don't care what he says. If he feels he's the best, then you should feel that way because I think I'm the best rapper doesn't always have to mean I'm the best battle rapper. And I think he saw the way that that battle went or was going and was like, "I'm out of here. I don't want to engage like this." Because Cole, like Kendrick, has kept his family and all of those things private. What do we know about J. Cole other than he rides a bike?
I know
I
he
don't know. I don't know.
I know he got a nice
I don't
house
know.
in the Carolinas, and he bought his neighbor's house to extend his house. That's all I know.
Because he don't want nobody to know nothing. So I feel like at that point, he doesn't want anything of his life exposed to the world. And I think when it came down to Kendrick and Drake, it was w- w- false allegations and lies and all of these things, and people's families and friends and managers just became exposed. I think he saw that, or maybe he had a phone call and said, "I don't want no parts of that." So maybe I'm the best. I feel I'm the best rapper.
You
I'm
need
just not
how
the
about
best
this? How about
rapper.
this? He gotta say he the best. He can say he the best wordsmith. I'm the best wordsmith. He gotta use the word wordsmith. But when I rapper,
And
we
he
gotta take
should.
that out. We gotta remove rapper because like you just explained, right? Things may have got negative in the battle and all of that. That's why he removed
Mhm.
himself. Mind you, I was at Dreamville when he got on stage and I was in the crowd
That is correct. Sure did. Yeah.
watching him disappoint the entire crowd. Everybody, I felt the energy when when he started apologizing. He apologized to Kendrick and he apologized to his fans. He had everybody say, "We love Kendrick, right? We love Drake, right?" The crowd was so confused and the energy kind of got sucked. I was there for that. But the thing is, with this rapper thing, with rap comes that's a part of rap is the negativity, is the making things up, is the going as low as possible, or whatever you got to say that sounds good that will that's rap. That's just what rap is. When we think about any rap battle on a mainstream, just removing battle rap, that's what happens. People say things that are grimy, then maybe you come out later and say, yeah, I shouldn't have took it that far. But that's what happens in rap. So, like, you signed up for this. That's how I feel. You signed up for this. This was a part of it. So, if you want to be the best poet, then you could be the best poet, J. Cole. Edgar Allan Poe. You can be
Listen,
that guy.
I think he's entitled to say what he wants, man. I know some people feel differently. I am the small minority on this who will say he should never talk or rap like this again. I don't mind being a minority in this situation. It is what it is. It happened. Get over it. Listen and enjoy the music. That's all I'm gonna say. Just enjoy the music. Enjoy the music. And we'll see. The album will be here sooner than later. Maybe we get another song that comes out this Friday and we'll take it from there, man. But listen, any last words before we wrap?
Um, yeah, I got a few last words just in to recap these topics, right? So, Baby Keem, I think Kendrick he's gonna have a huge verse on Baby Keem, probably with undertones of some type of F Drake in it. I think J Cole, you might be the best wordsmith or poet, you might got that, but you're not the best rapper. So let's change the subject matter. And I think Drake Iceman. With Drake Iceman, this is the most important album of your entire career. This is the most important album of your entire career.
Stop it. Stop it.
You
Stop it.
understand
Stop.
it.
Stop.
I
Stop.
understand it. Everyone understands it. And that's why you haven't dropped it yet. And you've been rolling out in a way where you can test the waters. And I get it, but this album better smack. And that's all I got to say.
I was with you for the first couple of those things. This is the biggest album of Drake's career. The biggest album of Drake's career is "Take Care." That's why I think it's like it was like one of the top 5 best-selling rap
that's
albums, and it came out like 15 years ago or something like
that's the
that.
second biggest for
Yeah,
sure. Because that
he's good. He good. Listen, man, he good. Iceman will be on the way. You'll get it when you get it. These are my final words. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the to this video and to the Soundcheck series channel. Listen, we will be back next week. There's news breaking right now, so we got to get back in the group text and start talking about what's going on. But we will always have the latest topics. We'll give you some hot takes, and I'll say some wild things when it's time. When it's time for me to give my conspiracy theories. But as long as you guys like what you just watched, please make sure you follow the page, subscribe to the page, send it to a friend, tell them to subscribe, watch the video in full. All of those things help us get into the algorithm and build a better and bigger show for you all. We will have some guests here who are, inside the industry. We'll bring some of our friends on and we'll have a good time. And maybe we'll do some of these episodes live. That way you guys can jump into the chat and we'll read and talk in the chat. But please leave a comment. What do you think about what we did today? How can we be better? What do you think went well? And what topics should we address? Because we don't only have to do new topics. We can do topics that have been going on or maybe do some reviews of past hip hop events. But it's all love. We thank you for being here. I go by the name JayRoebuck. This is
Yeah,
my man Zammy, and we're here every week. So as long as you're around, make sure you click the videos.
yeah. Ding.